AutoSAW 8.0 is based on version 7.0. Widescreen human-machine interface redesigned version of the new, mainly upgraded animation simulation automatic layout and a series of functions the main interface of the software, including workpiece optimization data, layout and editing of sawing diagrams, main interface of sawing operation, manual control interface of the equipment status information monitoring, configuration and modification of equipment parameters, recording of machining process data, and data statistics interface. Let's take the simplest front-loading model as an example to introduce the main operation process of AutoSAW. First, we switch to the most commonly used sawing interface. Here we can see the currently open processing data and the current layout list. The layout of different material types will be displayed in different colors. We can also click on the current material drop-down list to view and filter different material types. We can click on the corresponding layout to saw the material. The right side of the interface shows the simulation animation of the current machine. The rightmost side is the function buttons of the equipment. The lower side is for the software function buttons, the bottom side is the taskbar. The taskbar shows the real-time data of the equipment, work status, alarm information, and so on. When the machining task is completed or a new task needs to be opened, we can load a new project task from a file or folder. For example, if we click Remove Processing, we close the current processing data. Then we load the new sawing data by clicking on Import New File or Directory. Alternatively, you can directly access the project database from the file in the upper left corner. The project database stores the previous machining data. You can import a new file or directory here by clicking on Import File. AutoSAW supports a variety of sawing file formats such as cut/saw/xml/csv. Select the machining file you want to import and double-click on it. The newly imported project will appear in the list with the number of plates, material, parts, and the progress of machining. Click on the layout list to process the currently selected layout. Before the actual machining, we can also see the effect of the simulation. Simulate the effect of machining simulation. The processed products will be placed on the left side. The finished product will be put on the left side. Now let's do the actual machining. Right-click and select the Execute Sawing menu. You can also click on the Execute Sawing button below, and the data will be sent to the machine. The machine will move the gripper to the clamping position, and once the board is placed and clamped, the gripper will start pulling the board. After the saw carriage is in place, the first sawing starts. The edge is trimmed first. The coordinates of the saw carriage are displayed here in real time. The finished drawing is no longer in the layout list by default. The software automatically switches from the current sawn drawing to the second one to be processed. If you want to display the detailed dimensions of the sawed segments, you can also click on the Dimensions button. This will display the saw cuts in the same way as in the original 7.0 version. Each saw cut will be highlighted in red. If we want to stop machining, we can click on the Stop button or the emergency stop switch on the machine. If we want to make temporary changes to the size of the cut, stacking of plates, etc., this can be done before machining starts. For example, if we need to make a simple change to the trimming and the remnants, we can click on this button. The size of the front trim also affects the size of the remnant. In the case of stacked plates, In the upper right of the machine, a diagram of the stacking and merging of plates is displayed. Here you can make temporary adjustments to the temporary adjustments can be made here. The software does not display the completed drawing. If you don't want to hide them, you can turn off the right-click menu to hide the finished layout. In this way, the finished layout is also shown. The completed blocks are shown in gray. A green finished icon is also shown in the list. We can reprocess the finished artwork or set it as unprocessed. Okay, this is the introduction to the process of importing a processing file for processing. Processing file is with layout, if you have not generated processing file. It is necessary to optimize the layout of the workpiece data of the demolition order first. One way is to use the AutoCAD Expert Optimization software. Input or import the dimensions and quantities of the various types of workpieces, which are the list of the split orders, and optimize them centrally. To obtain the layout of our project, we can generate a machining file. The machining file is the layout data file we just imported. If we already have automatic nesting on our machine, if we have installed the AutoCAD optimization lock, we can switch directly to the workpiece optimization screen. After importing the list of workpieces and optimizing the layout, we can directly carry out the sawing operations in the machining area. Sawing operations if we need to make some temporary changes to the drawing during machining. If you need to make temporary changes or additions to the drawing, there is no need for a centralized optimization. You only need to edit the individual drawings. In this case, you can use the manual layout functions. For example, we want to cut a workpiece out of the remnants of drawing 001. We can right-click to modify the layout. Switch to the layout screen and select the area of the remnant that needs to be modified by clicking on it. We can double-click the mouse to switch between horizontal and vertical cutting. For example, we need to cut a 180 piece. Click on Save Processing. We see that the layout has been modified. If we want to add a new layout temporarily, you can do it in a similar way. Click on New Plate. The system will open a new sheet screen. Enter the dimensions of the plate we want to make. Above is the way to draw the layout by manually inputting the saw cut size. We can also use the simple automatic layout to complete the generation of individual layout drawing. Create a new layout. Input the length and width of multiple workpieces and the required quantity. Here the system can only optimize one layout. Enter a maximum of 10 sizes of workpieces. When the input is complete, you can set whether you want to make a crosscut or a longitudinal cut first. If both are allowed, check both boxes. Click on the Layout button and the system will automatically optimize the layout. Then we click Save and we are ready to process. The above are some of the operations for modifying and adding new types of layout. AutoSAW software provides more convenient replenishment function and veneer scanning processing function. If you want to temporarily make up the previous workpieces in the process, you can click on the corresponding workpieces in the layout and click the right button. If you want to make up the plate again for the workpiece that has already been processed, you can click on the corresponding workpiece in the layout plan and right-click on it to make up the label or plate. Right-click on the workpiece to make up the label or the plate. When you need to search, you can click on the Workpiece Replenishment button and enter the barcode of the workpiece to search for the current task or the history of tasks. You can also enter the barcode quickly with the scanner. You can search for the part that needs to be patched by clicking on the patching button. The system will automatically estimate the size of the material required. The system will automatically estimate a required material size and generate a simple sawing task. Click on Execute Sawing to process and print the barcode. The software also provides the following functions. Also provides the function of automatically generating a layout based on the scanned dimensions, which can be used for quick machining of door panels. We can open the scanner one-click layout window. Position the cursor on the scanned part. After the barcode is inputted by the scanning gun, the system will analyze the barcode automatically. After getting the dimensions of the workpiece, the software will automatically generate a single layout drawing.